Germany, 1936. Imagine you're 10 years old. You go to school, you kick a ball with your friends, you come home, do your homework, normal kid stuff. Then one morning your teacher walks in and says, "From today, every Wednesday is Rifle Day." That actually happened. Starting in the mid-1930s, every single German boy was required by law to join the Deutsches Jungle at age 10, and the Hitler Jugend at 14. It wasn't summer camp, it was pre-military academy. First year, marching, camping, singing patriotic songs. Second year, they hand you a .22 caliber rifle and teach you how to hit a target at 50 meters. By age 13, you're shooting 50 to 100 rounds every single weekend. By 15, you're in full field exercises, live hand grenades, digging trenches, night marches, obstacle courses, under simulated artillery fire. And the single most important lesson they hammered into your head from day one. If the officer is dead and no one is giving orders, you take command. You are never helpless. That sentence alone changed the entire war. Now fast forward to 1944. An American farm boy from Iowa turns 18. He gets his draft letter. 8 weeks of basic training, sometimes 12 if he's lucky. He fires maybe 200 rounds total with his M1 Garand, throws exactly 2 live grenades, learns how to salute properly, and then he's on a troop ship to England. The core American philosophy was simple. Every man has a job. Do your job. Wait for orders. The core German philosophy was the exact opposite. Your job is the mission. If the plan collapses, make a new plan on the spot. When these two completely different human operating systems finally collided in the hedgerows of Normandy, the result was slaughter. A single German squad, often down to 6 or 7 men, could pin an American platoon of 44 hours. Hours that turned into body bags. Let me take you into one of those hedgerow fights so you feel it. It's June 1944, a week after D-Day. An American rifle company is pushing inland. They reach a tiny nameless village. Stone houses, narrow lanes, chest-high hedgerows on every side. Perfect killing ground. The point squad walks into the open. Suddenly, Brera, the sound of the MG-42, 1,200 to 1,500 rounds per minute. It doesn't sound like gunfire. It sounds like God tearing sheet metal in half. 11 Americans drop in the first 3-second burst. The rest dive into the ditches. The squad leader is screaming into the radio. "Lieutenant, machine gun, 2nd floor, northwest corner. We're pinned." Lieutenant is 300 yards back, can't see anything. Radios the captain. Captain pulls out his map, tries to figure out grid squares, calls battalion for mortar support. Battalion calls regiment for artillery. Regiment needs clearance from division. 22 minutes later, the first shells land. By then the Germans have already repositioned the gun twice. Total American casualties in that one tiny firefight. 28 German casualties, 0. Same village, different day. German squad, same MG-42, opens up. The German Unteroffizier, a corporal or sergeant, doesn't reach for a radio. He's already scanning. Windows, roofline, shadows. He spots an alley on the left, a drainage ditch, a half-collapsed barn. He makes 2 hand signals. 2 men move immediately. No discussion, no permission. One team lays down covering fire. The other team low crawls 60 yards, kicks in a back door, clears the ground floor room by room, tosses a bundle of grenades up the stairs. Total time from first burst to silence, 94 seconds. That is not Hollywood. That is documented in dozens of American after-action reports from summer 1944. The phrase that keeps appearing is "enemy reacted with astonishing speed and initiative at the lowest levels." This wasn't luck. This was a deliberate system the Germans called Auftragstaktik, mission-type tactics. American officers told soldiers how to do something. German officers told soldiers what needed to be done and then got out of the way. The difference seems small until bullets are flying and your lieutenant just lost his head. In the American system, the unit freezes. In the German system, the senior private takes over and keeps fighting. That single philosophical difference is why German units routinely punched way above their weight right up to the last day of the war. But training only explains half the story. The other half was forged in the frozen hell of the Eastern Front. From 1941 to 1945, the Wehrmacht fought the largest, most savage land campaign in human history against the Red Army. More men died on the Eastern Front than in every other theater of World War II combined. Over 20 million military and civilian dead. Temperatures dropped to -50. Tanks wouldn't start. Machine guns froze. Men burned their own furniture for warmth. The Soviets attacked in human waves that sometimes reached 100,000 men in a single assault. Any German who survived to winters in Russia came out the other side a different species. By the time these veterans were pulled west to stop the Normandy invasion, they looked at American units and laughed. One captured German officer in July 1944 told his American interrogator, "Your soldiers are wonderful, brave, well-equipped, generous with cigarettes. But they have never been seriously hurt yet. Wait until they lose 60% of a company in one afternoon. Then we'll see what they're made of." And the terrifying part. Even when Germany was obviously losing, the veterans got more dangerous, not less. April 1945. Berlin is surrounded. The defenders are a mix of old men, 15-year-old boys, and a thin backbone of Eastern Front survivors. They have no air cover, no fuel, no hope. Against them, 2.5 million Soviet soldiers, 6,250 tanks, 41,600 artillery pieces. In 2 weeks of street fighting, the Germans inflict 81,000 killed and destroyed almost 2,000 tanks. That is what a broken army looks like when it still knows how to fight. Now let's kill the weapon myths once and for all, because this is where the internet gets everything wrong. Myth number 1. It took 5 Shermans to kill 1 tiger. Absolute nonsense. The origin is one book, Death Traps, written by a bitter ordnance officer named Belton Cooper, who only counted losses in his own maintenance company when they bumped into rare tigers. The actual data, U.S. Army Ballistic Research Lab, 1946 report. 30 documented tank versus tank engagements between Shermans and Panthers, not even tigers. Shermans achieved a 3.6 to 1 kill ratio. Yes, the Sherman won more often. British operational research across the entire Northwest Europe campaign, Allies inflicted 1.3 tank casualties for every Sherman lost, including all causes, not just tank guns. Tigers, only 1,347 ever built. Panthers, America built 49,234 Shermans. Simple math. Myth number 2. The MG-42 was unbeatable. It was terrifying. Yes, 1,200 to 1,500 rounds per minute, but German squads were built around it. Every German infantry squad had 1 MG-42 as the base of fire and 8 riflemen who existed to carry ammo and protect the gun. American squads were built around riflemen with a single bar that fired 500 rounds per minute. So one German machine gun team could outshoot an entire American squad. That SY-10 Germans in a farmhouse could hold off 100 Americans until their ammo ran out. But here's the paradox nobody talks about. American abundance actually made American units slower. America had the greatest logistics machine ever created. A new Liberty ship launched every single day. Entire tank battalions replaced overnight. But that meant American commanders rarely took risks. They stopped, brought up supplies, waited for overwhelming artillery and air support, then moved. German units had no supplies to wait for. They attacked immediately with whatever was in their pockets because they knew tomorrow there might be nothing. Result: in hundreds of small actions, the Germans won the first 30 minutes. America won the next 30 hours. Those first 30 minutes were paid for in American blood. Battle of the Bulge, December 1944. Germany throws its last reserves into a desperate counteroffensive. They have almost no fuel, almost no air cover. In the first week, they inflict 90,000 American casualties. More than America suffered on D-Day itself. Why speed and initiative at squad level? German commanders told company commanders, take that crossroads before dawn, and didn't micromanage how American company commanders had to call battalion. Battalion called regiment, regiment called division. By the time permission came down, the Germans were already gone or reinforced. And then there was the cold. January 1945. Coldest winter in 50 years. American soldiers in the Ardennes fought in soaking wet boots for days. Trench foot cases exploded. 23,000 non-combat medical casualties in 2 months. Feet turned black, rotted, had to be amputated. German veterans from the Russian front knew every trick. Changed socks twice a day. Rubbed feet with grease. Stuffed newspaper inside boots for insulation. They suffered far less from the cold than the Americans did. One U.S. veteran summed it up. We thought we were fighting Germans. Turns out we were fighting frostbite. So if the German soldier was this good, why did Germany lose? One name: Adolf Hitler. Every time a general begged to retreat and save the army, Hitler screamed, no retreat. Fight to the last bullet. Declare it a fortress. Result: Stalingrad, 300,000 men lost. Korsun Pocket, 60,000 lost. Budapest, 100,000 lost. Berlin, another 300,000. Hitler took the most professional, experienced army in the world and systematically bled it to death with insane no-retreat orders. Without Hitler's interference, the war in Europe could easily have dragged into 1946 or 1947. With Hitler, Germany was finished by May 1945. Here's the final irony. After the war, the U.S. Army did something almost unbelievable. They sent hundreds of officers to interview captured German generals. They studied every battle, every doctrine, and then they copied it. Today's U.S. military mission: command, commander's intent, decentralized execution, empowered NCOs, initiative at the lowest level. All of it comes straight from the Germans lost the war, but they won the peace when it came to how modern armies fight. So here's the question I want to burn into your brain tonight. Man for man, training for training. Were German soldiers actually better in 1944-45, or do we just love romanticizing the loser? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I want to see a war in that comment section. And if this video just destroyed everything you thought you knew about World War II, smash the like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications. Because next time I'm dropping the insane true story of how 88 half-starved German paratroopers held off an entire US infantry division for 18 straight hours, with nothing but small arms and attitude. You do not want to miss that one.